Frankenstein. Mary Shelley's classic novel is now a terrifying adventure module available for download at questgivers.com. Deck the halls because today is the DungeonCraft Christmas Spectacular. I've teamed up with Tabletop Witchcraft and DM Dave to bring you a 5e encounter with Krampus the Christmas Demon. Today on DungeonCraft. Welcome to DungeonCraft. I'm Professor DungeonMaster. One of my favorite Christmas traditions comes from Austria and Germany, and it is that of Krampus, the Christmas demon. In Austria and some parts of Germany, this day is known as Krampusnacht, or Krampus Night, when adults dress up as Krampus to frighten children at their homes. Sadly, this holiday tradition has not caught on here in America, but Krampus makes for one hell of a D&D monster, so I teamed up with Tabletop Witchcraft and DM Dave to bring you an encounter with Krampus. When I plan a climax, I don't just think in terms of the boss. I want it to be epic like you see in a movie, and I always consider my index+card+rpg 3 T's. Timer, threat, and treat. If you're not familiar with these, the timer is an inevitable danger that will occur in D4 rounds, imposing a time limit on the combat, ratcheting up the tension. The threat, usually a monster, wants to hurt the player characters. The treat is the reward for having defeated that threat. It's all on page 92 of the IC RPG Master Edition, which features one of the best GM sections in any RPG. Even if you're a die-hard 5e or Pathfinder player, you'll want to check that out. Tons of useful stuff there. The threat is Krampus, stats courtesy of DM Dave, link below. Krampus is a medium fiend, lawful evil, armor class 16, 127 hit points, damage resistance to cold, lightning, fire, damage immunities to poison, and non-magical weapons. Krampus's favorite weapon is his Ruten, or rod. It is a melee weapon attack plus 8 to hit, reach 5 feet. He can hit one target for an average of 15 hit points. He can also stuff them in his sack by making a grab attack against a medium or smaller target. Legendary actions, he's got 2. He can move up to his speed without provoking opportunity attacks. And of course, he can beat them with his rod. Krampus' challenge rating is 13 for a whopping 10,000 XP. But then we have the terrain. Here is Krampus' lair, courtesy of Tabletop Witchcraft. It's an island surrounded by a pit of lava. If Krampus hits you, you have to make a dex check or fall in. And yes, Krampus also has to make them, although he gets advantage. It is his lair after all. The timer, suspended over this fiery liquid, is a cage containing all the naughty little children in the town. Once combat starts, the chain mechanism will lower the cage into the lava in D4 rounds, unless the heroic PCs can stop it. The treat. After Krampus has been defeated, the Burgomaster hires the PCs for something else, or perhaps the town throws a parade in their honor. Or you could give them a magic item like a bag of holding. Santa's got one for toys. It seems reasonable that Krampus might have one to gather up those evil little children. Seems like a bag of holding would be an appropriate magic item to me. Now, this encounter is perfect for my ultimate dungeon terrain, but since I'm a lazy dungeon master, I subcontracted this job to Tabletop Witchcraft. John, show us a little about this set and what makes it so awesome.
Hey everyone, John here from Tabletop Witchcraft, and I want to take just a second to thank Professor DungeonMaster for having me on his show for this very special holiday episode of DungeonCraft. I made a really cool craft here that complements the Professor's Krampus encounter, and I want to take you step by step how to make this, and if you want to even download a set of plans, you can find them in my video description. So let's dive in a little bit closer and I'll show you what I did. This build is made mostly from foam and has over 500 skulls added to it around the entire craft. I have flickering LEDs under the lava to bring it to life, and make use of another modular craft, this pillar with a hanging cage from a previous video. I even bust out some clay and make these cool looking antlers to go along with the Krampus theme. If you want to see how it's done, again, head on over to the channel. I'd love to see you over there, and I hope everybody has a safe and happy holiday season. And until next time, I'll see you around.
Thanks, John. That looks totally amazing, and if you want to see how we made it, click on the link below. Also below, you'll find a link to DungeonCraft on Facebook and Patreon, a link to my new module, Frankenstein, available at Quest Givers, and a link to DM Dave's Krampus stats, so you can check out his website too. And finally, a link to index+card+rpg, which is where I get the idea for the timer threat and the treat. But don't go away, click on more content over here. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all. May all your rolls be 20s.
Deadbringer again. Slay some elves this cool tide season.
No, it's sleigh bells, and it's a Yuletide season.
Well, it sounds a lot more festive my way. Now watch more Dungeon Craft.